So let's take our arms and lift them skyward. Just let them bend like a limp rag and then circle them around and about. Just starting easy. Easy does it. Inviting movement inwards. Yesterday, my students in person were complaining is the wrong word. They were stating that they had a lot of creaking going on in the upper body. And so that kind of happens as it starts to get a little colder. And if we don't move the upper body around, let's reverse the circles. We will hear that and we will feel that little creaking and crunching stuff. As long as it's not bone on bone, that's a whole nother story for another day. Let's take our arms up overhead and sway towards the right. And then take an inhale and exhale towards the left. And inhale back up and exhale towards the right. Now, you know that even though I am cueing you for your breath may have a different rhythm than mine. And if it does, guess what? That is okay. That is okay. Let's come back to center and exhale and flow the arms down into our lap. Exhale, take the right ear down towards the right shoulder. And then drop the left arm like it's just a heavy, wet rag. Yeah, maybe you've got a weight in that hand. And feel the stretch from maybe your earlobe all the way down towards your collarbone. And then inhale, lift the head back up, and you might use your fingertips to do that to help you because we don't want any strain. And exhaling, left ear down towards left shoulder, and now let the right hand just go. Feel what it's like to let the body go, to release tension, to just let it trickle away. Sometimes it creeps up and we don't even realize it. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And let's lift the head back up. Take your right arm forward, turn the palm upward, and touch your fingertips towards your traps. And you might give yourself a little massage there. You can press your finger pads in. It'll give you information like, ooh, it feels a little sore, or it feels a little hard, or no, it feels pretty good and relaxed. And just notice that, and it feels kind of good to just push those finger pads down in there. Then we're going to use the left hand and take it to the right elbow and lift the elbow up a little bit, and then exhale and lower it down. And inhale, gently press it up, and exhale, gently down. Next time, take it up and then press the elbow towards you, and notice if you feel the shoulder blade come on the back. Then you might take the elbow up a little bit more and push the elbow towards you and see how that feels. And you might lower the elbow and see how that feels. There's going to be a spot where you feel like your shoulder blade is on your back. It's generally not up here. It's generally not down there. Pretty much towards the about shoulder height, maybe slightly higher. And then let's take the elbow out to the side and circle it around. So when we bring our joints back into alignment with our arm bones and our leg bones, then you might not hear so much. You might not hear the clicking. Body's funny though. One never knows how it's going to communicate next. Circling the elbows one way and then the other. And then let's bring that elbow forward, unravel the arm, Now take the fingertips and bring them downwards. You're getting a stretch through the wrist line, and then turn the palm about, what is that? That is towards your right and then upward. I was going to say that is clockwise. You know, when you turn your body parts different ways, sometimes you'll lose the direction. Let's circle the fingertips down now, and then back up, and then down, and maybe so bend the elbow and use your right hand and pull those fingers towards you a little bit. Ooh. I say that because this can get really tight. Let's shake it out. Let it go. Let's swing it towards the left and around and about a few times. Bend the elbow. And then you might start to feel an opening here because that area gets super duper tight as well. And then let's bring the hand back down. We'll do the other side. Lifting the left arm. Turn the palm upright. So the thumb is towards your left. Then bring your fingertips towards the top of the shoulder. And this is where you get to stop for a moment and give yourself a little massage there. And notice, because one side may have been a little bit more tender than the other. That's usually the case. Ooh, that feels good. I could stay here for a while, but we won't. Just gives us information about how we can help ourselves feel a little better. This area just gets a lot of tension. Now, we're going to use our right hand, bring it to the left elbow. Let's lift the elbow up a bit and then push the elbow away. And then with your right hand, push the elbow back. So you feel like the arm mode is moving back, and it is. It looks like this. Then lower the elbow and now try to push it back. It won't go. There's nowhere for it to go. Now let's go middle. Hands in front of elbow, press the elbow away, and then push it back in. So you can see what's happening here. It's when you press this in, your shoulder blade goes back onto the back. And we want that. Let's take the arm out to the side and circle the elbow around one way and then the other. Yes. How often do we do this kind of movement? And then the other way. And then extend the arm, bring it on forward, press the palm away, then turn the fingers out towards your right and down. And feel that. Really spread your fingers. Keep this elbow bent, because if you straighten it all the way and you lock it, then the shoulder's probably going to lift. So we bend it. Then use your right hand and gently direct the fingertips down. Now, if something hurts, stop. We don't need to hurt here. And then turn it the other way, so fingertips are upwards, and then pull the fingers towards you. I think we might have done this part on Wednesday. And let that go. Shake it out well. Take your arms out to the side, spread your fingers, and then bring your fingertips to the top of your shoulders. And now circle both elbows around and about. And notice, you might hear some grungies and you might not, because we started to open it up. Should feel good. That rhymes, kind of.
Hey, Mindy, it's Kristen here. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to make a quick announcement because due to some things that are happening in Zoom, we have some people from the speech class at 10 a.m. on this call.
Oh.
And I just wanted to let everyone that was trying to get into the speech class know we're going to have to cancel today due to technical difficulties. And next week, we'll have a new link for you that does not interfere with the yoga class today. So sorry for any confusion for people trying to join the speech class. And next week we will have a fresh link for you. So check your emails. And otherwise, I just encourage you to stay on Mindy's class because it is wonderful. So hopefully instead of speech today, you can get a little yoga in. So sorry for the interruption, everyone. Sorry, Mindy, but I just wanted to make that announcement because we're getting a lot of calls in and this was totally our mistake and a technical problem.
Zoom is doing some weird stuff though. We had some
yes, it is.
Too. I don't know whatever, right? No,
yes. It's not been easy. It's not been easy, but we appreciate everybody's patience and grace through this. So just enjoy the rest of your yoga class. And I hope if you're here for speech, you stay for yoga and we'll get you a new link next week. Sorry for the confusion, everybody. Back to you, Mindy.
All right. Well, we'll add in a little bit of vocal with the speech. I'm not a speech therapist, but there is some yoga chanting that it's not really chanting, but Sanskrit is the word used in yoga. And if you looked at the old text, remember yoga is thousands of years old. It's in Sanskrit. And so I'll teach you one right now because it's one of my favorite. So it goes like, well, I'll give you the translation first. It's may all beings be happy and free, and may my words and deeds and actions contribute to their happiness. So this is how it sounds, and you can say it with me after. We'll go slower. So it's Loka Samasta Sukhi Nom Bhavantu. That means may all beings be happy and free, and may my words, deeds, and actions contribute to their happiness or everyone's happiness. So Loka Samasta Sukhi Nom Bhavantu. Hopefully that's not sounding too strange to you. Let's do it a few more times. And you can do it loud. We cannot hear you. You're hearing me, but I can't hear you. So as loud as you want to do in your home. Loka Samasta Sukhi Nom Bhavantu. All right. Well, we'll repeat it a few times during class. Let's warm up our feet. And we'll start by lifting the heels. Here we go with those Barbie heels again. Lift them up. Feel a little stretch. And then exhale and slowly lower the heels down. And now inhale and lift your toes. No peeking. You know, we don't peek at toes. They're not going to move when we look at them. Up. I see some of you looking at your toes. No looking at your toes. Inhale, lift your heels. Norlin's laughing. Lift your heels. Exhale, lower your heels down. Inhale, lift your toes. No peeking. Now we're going to let that go. And we're going to go towards the edge of the chair, or you can stay center where you're at. I don't want you to feel imbalanced. What we're going to do is hold on to the chair, pick up our right knee, and then bring the toes down. And, you know, if you feel a cramp come out of it, just press that foot back down again. Let it go. Breathe. We're getting a little stretch through the top of the ankle and the shin. I'm going to show you to the side so you can see. So the other option is, I'm going to turn the chair, but you guys stay where you're at. We go to the edge of the chair. So I've got one hip on the chair and one hip almost off, and then push the top of your foot down. So either way, you can be here like that, or here like that. Either way works. Now, if you want to add a little bit more, notice how I'm holding on to the left side of the chair, so I'm not going anywhere. And you might have your right hand on the chair too. You should feel safe We're just getting a stretch through the front of the shin. And then again, if you feel a cramp, come out of it. Maybe massage your foot a little bit and then do the other side. So it is helpful to come towards the edge of the chair. I'm going to do this other side, the left. Doesn't matter which one you're doing first and second. And you might even do a little tapping like that. So just little tapping, sometimes that's kind of nice. And then you might step it down and you might do it again. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. I'm holding on now to the back of the chair, and the right hip's on the chair, but the left hip is off. And then we can do a little tapping like that. It's just to give the front of this shin area, it gets tight. It's tight. And when we stretch out the front of the ankle, it helps us flex our feet. It will help your walking a little bit. And then bring the foot back in and come back to neutral. Let's find our way to warrior pose. We're going to bend the right knee out to the side. And your choice is to either leave the left leg where it's at. So we're in a 90-degree angle, about a 90-degree angle. If you're tight, you're feeling tight in the inner thighs, then maybe not so wide. Or you might take the back leg and extend it, and you also can adjust your hips on the chair so that you feel comfortable and balanced. The front heel, the right heel is about underneath the knee. Then we're going to take our arms out into a big wide T and turn the palms upright. Start to lift the fingertips towards the sky. And then as we exhale, palms downward as we gaze towards our front fingertips. Let's do this a few times. So inhaling, arms lift. And then exhale, turn your head so that your nose is pointing towards your front fingertips. Inhale, we lift. And exhale, we lower. Let's flow this to a reverse warrior. Left arm's going to go down and right arm's going to go up. And we're going to flow this a few times so it's not static. Then we're going to bring the right forearm to the thigh and the left arm over the ear. Yeah, it's like a wave. Like a wave. So we go back. And then we go forward, which is really right and left in a warrior pose because it is a side-facing pose. As you breathe in and as you breathe out. Let's take a nice stretch. Next time you're forward, pull the top elbow back. And then lengthen through the elbow, the wrist, fingertips, reaching towards the left. And you might feel a nice stretch along the side of your body. That's your left side when we're bending towards the right. Then we're going to lift back up. Now feel your feet. Push them down like you mean it. Let's release the arms. Then walk your feet back in. Take your time. The feet were wide for a while, so you might be like, ooh, this is a relief. Let's do a few cat-cows before we go towards the left warrior. Round your spine. Chin to chest. Inhale, lift up. And then circle around on your hips. One way. And then the other. The way to loosen up the lower spine. Come back to neutral. One more cat-cow. Round the spine. Inhale, lift it. And return to neutral. Stepping the left foot outward. Here we are. This is one option for warrior. Or you can extend the back leg, which is the right leg. Notice how I have my hands on the chair to kind of lift the hips and move them around. It's worth it to take your time to get into that spot that's best for you. We're going to lift the palms, relax the shoulders. This time we're going to take the arms up, thread the palms down heart center, and open it back up again. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down, the palms come in front of your heart. Let's lift the palms up and open out wide. And bring the palms through heart center. Lift it up. Turn your head towards the left. Palms come together, head comes back to center. Inhale, palms lift. Exhale, palms out to the side. Bring the palms back in. Lift them. Widen them. And let's take a breath here in and out with our arms wide. And then we're going to side to side. So we're going to go back towards the right. This is the reverse warrior. We're going to come on up, and it's more of a side bend towards our left. And let the arms be free flowing. Don't feel like you've got to get some perfect rendition of a pose, right? Just feel the flowing of going back and then going towards the side or towards the front, depending upon your orientation. Next time, let's go for the side bend, lifting the right elbow, bending it, and then slowly straightening it out over the ear and pull it back. And then reach it towards the left. Notice how you're starting to feel a side stretch along the right side of your body. Extend and breathe and push down through your feet. Breathe in and breathe out, toning your hips as we breathe in and as we breathe out. Pull the belly in and up. Push down, rise up, gaze at your front fingertips, and release the hands down. Slowly walk your feet back towards each other. Let's walk in place. So, meaning walk seated. So here we go. Lift the right knee, let it go down. Lift the left, let it go down. Some students say, well, this leg is heavy. It is heavy. Feel the weight of the leg. Feel the weight. So you're inhaling, the leg lifts, exhale, lower it. Inhale, it lifts, exhale, it lowers it. Alternating one and then the other. And we're going to start swinging our arms in a second. So even that up. And then let's use the left arm forward and the right knee and alternating. Breathe in, breathe out. That's it. Get your own rhythm. You don't have to have my rhythm. Make sure that you're inhaling and exhaling. Try to keep it through the nose. When we start to do more aerobics, then it becomes a little bit harder to breathe in and out through the nose. And there is definitely that temptation or instinct to breathe in and out through the mouth. Few more. And then let's switch this up. So we're going to keep doing the legs like this. Let the arms go free. And this time we're going to take the arms up and down while we're alternating the legs. And it's a little harder because we are used to, you guys are doing great. You guys are doing actually awesome. Awesome. I thought this was a little harder, but I don't think you guys think it is. Now let's do the same leg with the arm going forward. So left leg, left arm, right leg, right arm. I gotta think for a minute here. It definitely is different. Okay, notice if your legs are starting to feel a little bit tired, give them a break. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's do that Loka Samasta again. So that means, may all beings be happy and free, and may our words, deeds, and actions contribute to their happiness. So here it is. Loka Samasta Suki Nom Bhavantu. Bhavantu. Okay, now we will move on to our horsey pose. Here we go. Let's feel our feet pushing down into the earth, and take your sitting bones back and then anchor them down. So if you were looking at my side view, you'd see a curve going back in the lower back, and then angle the sitting bones down. Inhale, lift the right heel. Exhale, lower it down and lift the left. Go back and forth and back and forth, and start to take your arms up to cactus. That's it. And then let's stretch one arm up when the heel is rising. That's it. You guys are amazing. You're very, very awake and active. Here we go. I love it. Love, love, love it. Reaching one arm up and one heel up. Amazing. Okay, we'll relax the heels back down. Arms are out. Give yourself a hug. Open it up. Hug the other way. So now other arms on top. Open it up. Close it. Big hug. Open it up. Big hug. Wide. Bring them on in. Cross the arms. Open it. Close it. Relax the hands in your lap and move one foot and then the other towards neutral. Let's extend our legs. We are going to start working towards the earth. I'm just going to turn sideways. Let's stretch our legs out a little bit before we go down. So hands on the side of the chair, extend the legs. Woo! I'm feeling tight calves. When we flex the feet, we pull the toes towards us, and you might see some crinkles along the ankle line. That's flexing our feet, pulling our toes up and towards us. And I just felt a big lengthening through the back. Let's point the toes. Now the lengthening's through the front, and then pull it that way towards you and away and towards you and away and towards you. And now bring your feet back in, and let's find a wave here. Take your arms forward, around, and about. This always makes me think of the cider mill wheel this time of year. Who knows where the mind's going to go, right? We have all these, the movements of our body, and our body very much is in alignment with nature. And so we see patterns in nature that we might see in ourselves. Reverse the circle, go the other way. So reverse it. Takes a little bit more thinking. Oh, what's reverse here? Reverse it. Rocking forward and back. Good. Come back to center. Just notice how the body feels. Let's do a cat pose. And then a cow pose. And back to the cat. And lift the arms for cow. And back. And lift it. And come back to center. And we'll find our way towards the earth. So if you're going down to the mat, you want a blanket and a strap and a block if you've got it. I know those of you who might be in the voice class, maybe you don't have all the yoga props, and it's okay. You'll just do what you can. And if something doesn't feel safe or right to you, skip it, let it go. because you should trust your body. This is part of the yoga, is learning to listen to our body. So to come down, I like placing the chair against a wall, because then I know the chair is not going to move. It's not going anywhere. And then some people like to put a blanket under their knees because they know their knees are tender. So then we do that. Some people are like, no, I don't need that. And that's great. Then we face the chair. Now, people have all different ways of going down. This is just one way. And I bet your body knows different ways that it likes to go down to the earth. So we're going to slowly lower down. Just make sure you're safe. That is number one priority. And I'm going to use the chair a little bit when we start today. So keeping that chair right there, and then placing the blanket underneath the knees, and then bringing your hands to the chair, and then walking your knees back so you can get a little stretch like this. So this is a nice way to start. It's a nice way to start. And take a few breaths. Breathe in, and you can go right to the cat pose here. Rounding the spine, belly pulls in, hands are on the chair. You might walk your knees a little forward or back. And then we can go to the cow pose, sitting bones rise. And then exhale and round it one way and then the other. Now I'm going to place the chair to the side. We might just use it again, but for now, place it to the side. And let's come down onto hands and knees. We did warm up our wrists, but if your wrists are sore, there are options. You can place your wrists on a rolled mat so that it looks like this. So the wrists are on the roll, and then your fingertips are off. That gives a little bit of a cushion. Some people like to actually put their hands on these softer yoga blocks, which is really nice too. So it looks more like this, and that's great. So whatever works for your wrist lines. Now we're in our table pose. Our hands are just forward of our shoulders if we look down. And then we're going to come to a neutral table. So a nice way to come to a neutral table is to round the spine one way and then the other. So we're a cat-cow, and then find neutral where we feel shoulder blades on the back. The belly's pulling in. We're clawing the mat with our fingertips if your hands are down on the mat. And then let's extend the right leg back and rock through the heel. So we're rocking forwards and back. Very nice. Just a rocking, and the toes are down, so it's stretching through the bottom of the foot. And then maybe we lift the leg up and feel the hip tone. Feel the hip tone. Then maybe we pull the knee in towards us, nose to knee, and then extend back. We may bring the right kneecap towards the right elbow and then extend it back. And a third one would bring the knee to the left elbow and extend it back. And then you bring it down and give yourself a little break. Let your hips wave right and left. So that's a little bit of a hip release to just let the hips go side to side. Now, if your hands get tired when we do the other side, you can come down onto your forearms and do the same thing, which I'm showing you now. So do whichever option is best for your body. Let's extend the left leg back and roll through the foot. So we're moving forward and back, and it's a very nice stretch for the calf. Now, all the while, try to keep your head level with your spine. So rather than dropping the head down or lifting the head too high, try to keep the extension out from the crown of your head, and then lift the leg up
point the toes downward. So that's our flexed foot. Bring the knee in and up towards your belly, maybe gaze at your kneecap, and then extend the leg back. You're going to feel some weight in the other hip too. You're going to feel that. That's okay. We're strengthening, we're weight bearing. Now let's bring the knee towards the left elbow and then extend it back. And then the knee towards the right elbow and extend it back. And give yourself a break. So bring the knee back down. Let the hips swish right and left and left and right. We're going to come back up for spinal balance pose. Spinal balance, we're going to extend the right leg back. And again, you can do any of the different hand positions. And there's so many different versions of the spinal balance. I'll show a few of them. Maybe you lift the right leg. Maybe you take your left hand on top of a block in front of you, or you bring your left hand forward and you're just touching down with your fingertips. Or maybe you lift your arm ear height. Notice how the head is level with the spine. So you could have leg and fingertips down, or you could have fingertips down and leg up, or you could have leg down and arm up. These are all versions of spinal balance. Let's release the hand, give it a break, and we'll do the other side. Left leg's back. We can keep the leg down or we can lift it up. We can take the right fingertips forward or lift them about ear height. Breathe in, breathe out. Whatever version you take is right. It's perfect. You can always vary it and play with different versions. Breathe in, breathe out. We want you to be safe. We want you to feel good. We don't want you to push too far, but we want you to feel your strength and feel like you're playing with your balance. Give yourself a break. Release down. Let's find a child pose. I'm just moving this blanket back a little bit for space. So knees can be a little bit wider than hips. And then we're gently rocking the hips forward and back. And maybe they find their way towards the heels. Maybe they don't. And the arms can be forward for a nice stretch. Or if your shoulders are feeling tight, bend your elbows and relax your head down on your forearms. That's such a nice place to be. And then here, we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. The breath is in and the breath is out. We're going to take our way to slither onto our bellies. Now you can keep the blanket underneath you or you can move it. Some people like the blanket so it hits right about underneath and towards your rib area. So around this area, and that can help your lower back. But no matter what you do, we're going to want to tone our belly here. So here we are on our bellies, and we can start by doing a little inchworm. So inchworm is sitting bones up, and then exhale, angle them down. Inhale, they lift. Exhale, they lower. Now, as the sitting bones rise, the belly may not be toning. But then as we angle the sitting bones towards the heels, tone your belly a little bit. You can keep your head down and rest it on your forearms. And so it's like an inchworm. Sitting bones rise. You might feel a little stretch in your belly. And then as the sitting bones go down, they're lengthening towards our heels. And you can pull the belly in and up. So here we can keep a little toning. Then let's take our arms and bring them out to the side for a cobra. So fingertips are down and elbows are up. and we're pushing our fingertips down into the earth. Now, this is a great place to be for strengthening the hands. Our hands tend to get weak if we don't work them too. So as we push the tips of the fingers down, roll the shoulders up and back, gaze about a foot in front of you, keeping the back of the neck long. So if the head goes up like that, the neck isn't long. If the head is down like that, that's not great for the shoulders. So we want to find a place where the neck is smooth. Shoulders up and back, lift shoulders and heart, and feel a little toning in the belly and in the hips. And then exhale and slowly lower down. We're going to do it a few times. We're pushing down through our fingertips. Now, if you'd like, you can push your ridges down or your palms down for this next one. Shoulders roll up and back. Feel your shoulder blades on the back. Now, I'm feeling a little back bend and I barely lifted up yet. And that could be the place that you stay. Tone the hips. Maybe you come up a little bit higher. Keep minding your lower back as you pull your shoulder blades towards each other. As you push your palms down, and you pull them towards each other, you might feel your shoulder blades come on your back a little bit more. It feels really good. This is reversing the energy of leaning forward for text head and all that forward head business. Exhale, release, take a little break. You can tell, how do I feel about that? Very emotional, because we have an epidemic of forward head. We need to eradicate that. And the best way to do it is with back bends. Back bends. That is what will help our forward head. We go gentle. We're going to do one more back bend on our belly by taking our arms out to the side like super yogis. And you can have your arms back here. You can have them out to the side, or you can have them forward. Here we are. And we're going to draw the shoulders up and back, lift the heart, keep the back of the neck long by looking slightly forward. It's like, I don't know, about a foot forward. Shoulder blades are together, 12 inches forward. Maybe your legs lift. We're toning our buttocks. You are super yogis. Maybe you sway to the right and then tip towards the left. Have a little bit of fun with it. Sway to the right and to the left. And then relax, take a little break. From here, let's do we're going to come on to the side. So come onto your side, relax your head down on your bent elbow, or you can put a little blanket there or pillow, something so your head can relax down. Don't lift your head up like that. It's going to feel all stressed out. You don't need that business. Who needs that? We're going to do some clamshells. Inhale, lift the upper knee, and then exhale and lower it down. Let's lift it up as far as it'll go without pushing overboard. Don't push it overboard. And then exhale and lower it. Inhale, we lift it. And exhale, we lower it. So we're moving the knee out to the side and then lower it. Some of you like to go fast and some of you like to go slow. I like a little bit of slower because I can feel which muscles are working back there. You could take your hand back there if you want a little bit of tactile knowledge. So we're lifting and we're lowering. And just about 3 more, and you'll feel some tightening. And that is some toning of your hip. And then release it down. Let's bring that top knee towards us and give it a hug. And maybe circle the knee around and about. Yes. So you might start with a smaller circle and then it gets a little bit bigger. You can hold on to the back of the thigh or the front of the knee, whichever is more accessible for you. And just notice what you're feeling. And then let's extend that top leg and push the heel away from us and do a little bit of up and down. So teeny little movements up and down, little pulsations, breathing in and breathing out. It's all about the breathing. It's all about the breathing. We're going up and we're going down. And then bring the knee back in, maybe lift it skyward, maybe try to lengthen the leg towards the sky. Beautiful, beautiful. It's not about how high it goes. It's just about extending it and getting a little stretch through the back of the leg. Some of you might hold on to your ankle or your shin and give it a gentle pulling in towards you. Some of you can always use a strap. Some of you might reach your toes and then lower the leg down. And we're going to switch sides. So you can roll to the other side. I'm going to come on up and take it the other way. So now we're on, and you can always bring a blanket for your head to rest on. Don't want that chair to block your view. And so something like that is fine. You want your head to rest down because we're not stressing the head out here. And now we're going to do our clamshells. So lifting the knee up and lowering it down. Notice how the feet are touching. They are touching as we inhale and lift up and exhale and lower down. Now, I've been in classes where they do so many of these reps that you really start to feel the burn. And you don't have to do that. Who says you have to do that? You absolutely do not. But if you want to increase it and do more of these than we're doing here, feel free. It's a good toning for the hip. Let's lift it a few more times, inhaling up, exhaling down. Picture that clam. And then let's bring the knee in towards us and give it a big hug in. Yes, and then circle the knee around and about. And you can use your hand or let it circle without your hand on there and notice the difference. And then go ahead and extend the leg and push the heel away and a few pulsations up and down. Again, we're doing some toning through the leg. These are teeny little pulsations of up and down. Little, so think about it's only moving a few inches up and then a few inches down. And notice as you multiply these pulses that you start to feel a little bit of tightening going on in there. That's the toning. Then let's bring the knee on in towards our shoulder and maybe lift the leg skyward. Maybe not. Yeah, just get a little stretch through the back of the leg. Perfect. And you might keep the knee bent and you might straighten it a little bit and you might bend it and you might straighten it. And some of you might find your way to holding on to the ankle or the foot or even the big toe. And notice how that feels to stretch your leg this way. Let's lower that down and we're going to come onto our backs. Onto our backs for bridge pose. Bring your block and your strap with you. And if you need a little something under your head, that's just fine. We don't want the head lifting high though. So it would be a teeny little thing under your head, little flat thing, because if the neck flattens, it's just not good in this pose. It's stress on it. So maybe just a little bit under the upper head. In other words, this is what we don't want. Something like this, and then lifting into bridge. We do not want that. That is not good for the neck when we're doing bridge pose. I'm going to put this to the side, get it out of the way. I know it's not folded, but that's okay. So here we are in our getting it ready for our bridge pose. Our knees are up, our feet are down. And push your feet down like you mean it. Push the right foot down and release it, and push the left foot down and let it go. And now let's press both arms long down and lift our hips upwards. And our heart is moving towards our chin. You can use your arms to push down, and you might even rock side to side. There should be no stress on your neck. Let me repeat that. No stress on your neck. So that means that there should be space. The back of your neck, you should not be able to feel the mat underneath you. Your pointy head might be touching down, but not your neck. And now we're going to exhale and slowly lower the hips down. And then we're going to push down through our feet and inhale and lift the hips back up. And how about we sway the hips towards the right, back to center, and towards the left, and back to center. And exhale, lower the hips about halfway, and then lift the hips back up. And maybe you lift up onto your tippy toes, heels are up. And then maybe you lower your heels down, but the hips are still up. Now, you know you can always come down. If you're thinking, oh, she's just doing this too long, come on down. Let's exhale and lower the hips down. Take a little break and walk in place again. Walk in place. One knee comes towards you and then the other. And maybe you swing your arms up towards the sky. So bringing one knee in and the other. Just keeping it moving, even as we come to the last segment of our class. Come back to neutral and find your right knee. Say hi, right knee. Give it a kiss. And maybe you extend the left leg away from you. Pull the knee on in. And then we'll reverse it. So bring the left knee in towards you and extend the right leg away. Like you're going to kiss the knee. Some of you might lift up. That works our core. No strain though. Please, no strain. And then maybe you bring both knees in towards you and give yourself a hug and roll around on your spine. Make some circles as you roll one way. And then the other. And then the other. And you might go right from there to happy baby, lifting the legs towards the sky, wrapping your arms inside or outside your legs and roll it. This is a good little hip opener. A good little hip opener. And then we're going to do a combo of a hip opener twist because we haven't done a lot of twists today. We got to do a twist every day. It keeps the doctor away. It's very good for digestion. So make sure you do a twist no matter what position you're in. Here is one option for you to get another hip opener at the same time. Extend the right leg, pull the left knee in towards you and let it drop to the right. And then your arms can be in like a cactus, goalpost, or Y position. You might gaze up and look at your zipper. And here's our twist. Some of you may use your right hand and place it on your left knee to gently press it down. So what we're feeling here is a spinal twist and maybe an opening of this upper hip. Take a few breaths. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Two more. Longer breaths. And then we will bring both knees in towards us. Maybe a little bit more of the rocking side to side. Then we're going to extend the left leg. Right knee stays in. Give it a hug in. And let it drop towards the left. Your left hand might take hold of the top of the right knee. You can adjust your spine so it feels a little straighter. If it feels like it's a little cockeyed, you can move it over a little bit more to the left. Sometimes that's what I feel like I need to do. And then arms can be wide or in cactus. You may turn your head the opposite direction as your knee. That is a full spinal twist. It's nice to feel your shoulder blades pressing down towards the earth. Take a few breaths in and out in your spinal twist pose.
Breathing in and breathing out in your spinal twist pose. And then come back upright. Shift your hips, give yourself a hug, and find your way to your final resting pose. You might place your feet up on a chair like this. If you're in a chair, you might put your feet up on another something in front of you. So like this is feet up the chair. This is really a nice place to be. It reverses all the flow of the lymph. It gives our heart a little break. And unless you know of any contraindications, you're not supposed to bring your feet up overhead. Some people like to put their feet up a wall, and that's nice too. And this is a great place to just relax for a while. You can walk your shoulders underneath you and the palms are upright. You might put your hands on your belly. You might keep your palms lengthening and in more of a traditional aligned position down by your side. And this is the final pose, the relaxation pose, which is Shavasana. It means resting or relaxation. It also can take on the meaning of rebirth or renewal. Soft breath in, soft breath out without controlling your breath in our final resting pose. We're relinquishing any control. I can't say enough how this, or emphasize enough how this is the most important pose of your practice. And for many, it's the hardest pose of the practice. What this society we're in doesn't always value resting or being human beings, and for lack of better words, doing nothing. Practice doing nothing, just being right here. A relaxed breath. It's flowing, and you're aware of it, just as it is. Relaxing the feet, the legs, the hips, the torso, the neck, the shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, hands and fingers, and head. Relaxing the whole body. Breathing as a whole. Feeling this pool of sensation in your body. Breathing in. And with each exhale, relaxing just a little bit more. You're welcome to stay in this relaxation pose for however much time you have. I'll slowly come out as we close our time together, but feel free to rest. When you do come up, you want to roll to your side to come up. That helps them keep your body neutral. And we'll do that Sanskrit mantra, if you will, together, which means all beings may they be happy and free, and may our words, deeds, and actions contribute to their peace, health, and happiness. We'll bring our palms together. Loka Samasta Sukhi Nom Bhavantu. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. If you're celebrating the Jewish New Year, Lashana Tova. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and very happy, healthy New Year. Namaste, everyone.